All right, I'm fairly satisfied with how this is starting to turn out. I would like to point out a couple of other kind of visual things that are helping us portray this as an image of a miniature tree rather than a little shrub in a pot. With conifers, a lot of times we're going to see a pointy top on them, a Christmas tree top, and we've removed that, and we've got this nice rounded top. That's an image of a mature tree. So we started to create that. Also, as I pick this up a little bit, and I'll turn it towards your view, that you'll be able to see this clean line, nothing growing down. That also gives us an image of what trees, large trees do, and not shrubs. So we've got this very clean line. It's starting to look like a bonsai, the image that we all have with the bonsai. Also, what I've done when I've cleared away some of this topsoil is to reveal this trunk flare. And that also gives us the image of a tree that has roots that are spreading out and firmly holding the earth. It just gives it another aspect of maturity that we revealed simply was there. And before I get into cutting these roots, because I'm thinking you're all going to be very horrified when I do that, you notice all of these very fine pieces of roots that are being revealed as I brush the soil away. That is where the power of this tree is, and in the foliage, these fine little roots. So when I make some very large cuts, what I'm cutting away is what we call structural roots. It's the roots that hold the plant in the ground. These guys are actually the ones that are powering these guys. And there's a communication between these little buds up here and these little roots down here that's not completely understood by horticulture, but we know that relationship exists, and these are the guys that are real important to us for the future of this tree. I'm going to take away a fair amount of these roots. Also, this is where these nice robust shears come into play because we're going to be doing this. So as I turn this up, you can see that there's one fairly large root that was cut away right there, not a big one, but that was a descending root down into this root ball here. But you notice where the majority of these finer roots are, they're around the edge of where the pot was, and that's where the water was, and those roots are chasing the water. So this almost torturous, radical, I've killed the plant maneuver that I've just done is not. Now, there's some caveats to this. This thing is so healthy and has so many roots that it allows me to do this. If this was not that healthy, we wouldn't see this root structure here. In addition, it's this zone that I'm holding in my hand, from here to here, from here to here, is where the most important roots for this plant are, which is at the base of the tree. And we need to preserve those. Now, in most bonsai techniques, it will kind of say that you need to comb out roots a little bit. And I can do that with the chopstick by doing this. It's pretty simple. And as I do that, I reveal these really white roots. Those are the power of the tree. That's the ones that are doing the work. They're taking up the moisture, they're taking up the nutrients. These are the guys that the tree is relying upon. And there's lots of them. If we only found a few, then I would stop this now where I am, because I know the tree would not tolerate it. And these guys are going. And the reason for that is why? Because there's 1,000 more inside there. If they weren't, we couldn't do this. Also, if I were to totally tease these roots out, and so there was no soil left, I would have been taking the soil away from the roots that actually need to have some soil. And also there would be no structural integrity in the root mass for me to put the wires around, and the damn thing wouldn't stay in the pot. So that's what we have left. And the power of the tree in the roots is in here in this zone surrounding the tree. That's what the tree will survive on. We've taken away so much of the other foliage that it doesn't need the root mass that it had before, and everything will be fine with this. Now we need to kind of look at, see which one of these little pots would be worth using the best. I think I like that shape pretty well. So we're going to use that pot. Snip a little bit more of these structural roots. As we get a little bit higher up in there, they get a little bit bigger and a little bit denser. But structural roots are not feeding roots, they're just holding the plant in the ground. Okay. And so I think I like this pot best, and we're going to use it. And I'll kind of look at the plant in the pot for positioning. The position is important for the aesthetic value of it. If we put this dead center, if we put this trunk dead center in the middle of the pot, it looks a little bit bland. It's kind of static. It's not as interesting. It loses some dynamic character. Okay? However, if I offset that just a little bit, then we have a much more dynamic kind of look to it. It's not so even, not so static, and a little more drama. So this is the position that we're going to use to put this tree in this pot.